Hi, and welcome to Konga's Creations. Today we're going to show you how to make one of your latex wound prosthetics look like this. With me I have Zoe, a friend of mine who is going to do all the makeup and apply the latex prosthetic for me, and we'll take you through the steps. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to mark around how much needs to be shaved, just so that I don't lose all the hair on my arm, although to be honest I probably should shave it all to make it look even. We should shave the other arm too. It's like the chalk outline of a body.
There we go. And just make sure that, there we go.
Oh, we're using spirit gum or we're using latex? What did we use last time?
We used latex last time. If the area is going to be prone to any humidity, you may want to use spirit gum or an alternative adhesive. But for most things like this, latex will stick well enough. Just pop that there for now. Just stuck to my finger.
So smooth. Feels nice.
Now, latex sticks to latex, so the easiest way is to do just a very light application on the prosthetic itself, and then another light application to Konga. Oh, that is smooth. Very nice. Very nice. Looks like I'm still getting a few hairs in here. Oh, some that have just come along for the ride. They're not attached. They're
okay. They don't hurt as much.
They felt left out, so they've joined in. But that's okay. So just a little bit on there. And we can just rub in the light. Okay. Now we'll go back in, just blend that to the skin with just a little bit more latex. I will never get used to the way it smells.
Ammonia.
Okay, now we just wait for that one to dry. This is a texture sponge.
And what do you do with the texture sponge?
This one's really good for applying blood, so rather than getting a huge smear, I'll just show you very quickly. You can just get a really nice sort of graze, effect through there.
And what's the blood stuff that you're using there called?
This is, I think this is the Ben Nye one. This is the thick blood. So you can get it in sort of gels and creams. This is your sort of more fake blood. This one's an oil-based one.
And that's the one to not get in your mouth?
You can. It's mostly castor oil.
Okay.
I believe if you have too much of it, it's bad for your stomach. But you don't drink it, but you can ingest small amounts. But it does taste fairly bad, so you can get specific mouth blood that I'd probably recommend over that one. Okay,
so now the latex around the wound has dried. So we're now going to take the next step, which is to apply the makeup. So Zoe, what is the next step?
The next step is to apply some cream makeup. After that, we're going to go through and set this with some powder, but this will give us the basic colouring to the wound itself. So these are some bruise colours. So you'd see the naturally occurring yellows as the bruise fades on, and the bright red and dark blue from a fresh bruise. So we're going to try to mimic a bruise as best as I can.
Let's go.
All right. So I generally start off with the lighter colours because it's always easy to build them up than it is to take away the darker colours later. So I'm just going to start by blending that right out into the skin and the hair. I'll get a little bit more through here. Just to try to hide that transition between the prosthetic and Konga's arm. So for now, it's going to still look pretty unnatural, but it'll start to take shape as we add a bit more colour. So now just adding some purple through that, and we're going to see the bruise sort of start to take shape. So keep blending it out to the skin so you don't get a harsh line. Okay, just adding some red just close, more to the edges of the wound, just to make it look a bit more aggravated.
It's an angry wound.
Just try to sort of massage the colours into those little lumps in the latex and into Konga, the lumps in Konga.
You need more than that. The best part about this is the blood just kind of makes it all kind of work. So, oh look, there's all this makeup underneath, it's just blood.
It does though, like just for me anyway. Because I remember we did that and you were like, oh, that's pretty good. And then we just went over the top of
But it
blood.
looks so much awesome though after that, yeah.
Because as the blood runs down, this will
Yeah.
remain. And it will still have that sort of... Alright. And lastly, just a little bit of blue. Just to deepen it up. Give a little bit more depth there. I'm just coming back in with a bit more of that yellow. Try to blend that out so it doesn't look quite so purple, just to get a bit more of that sort of fleshy tone through it so you don't have a giant purple wound. Okay, cool. So after this we're going to start adding some gore through the center. Now I find the easiest way to do this is go back to this red in the cream. So I've just got just a bit scooped out on my palette here. Just work that through the brush and then go in and coat the inside with that. Now with all cream makeups you want to set them with powder, otherwise they will just keep moving and shifting throughout the day. But if you set them, they should last for a few hours without melting.
I'll put a picture of this when it's done on Facebook going, industrial accident at the workshop tonight. See what happens.
There was one I did and it was just a makeup test. It came out feral.
I think it's one of the ones with the
It was
burn
just a-
or something?
yeah, on my hand.
Yeah, sorry, I remember that.
And I was like, oh, this came out great. And everyone was like, yeah, what happened? There we go, that's fairly gory. So now I'm going to go through with just some, this is just your basic transparent powder, so it doesn't matter what colour we've got underneath. It's going to go all over me on the table.
Yay.
Yay. You don't have to use specific blending powder, you can just use talcum powder. That was probably a little bit too much.
Does that powder go away or is it?
It will,
it'll keep
yeah.
it down?
As you move throughout the day, this will fade. Alright, and we'll go through Now we want to use a smaller brush this time. And this is just a bit of black eyeshadow. So we just want to get that in all the darker, deeper points of that, just to create some shadows in there. Okay. Lightly trace over that one. Alright, now I'm going to come back in just with the texture sponge and the bit of this blood gel.
There's another one there, might be a bit thinner. Or do you want the thick stuff?
For the now I'm using the thick stuff, that's fine. So we can get the goopy stuff on the inside, but this is just for just a little bit of texturing around the wound. This is the scab blood.
Alright, yeah.
Which, if you let it dry, gets very sticky. So I'm just going to use the back of a paintbrush for this.
There we go.
So you can see the sort of consistency we're working with here. And we want to just sort of ease that into all the corners of the wound there. So I'm going to do the same thing.
The end of the brush is got crap on it, for sure.
Sorry?
The end of the brush has crap on it.
No, it's just a bit of fluff.
Yeah.
So this is an oil-based blood, and this will continue to run and drip, whereas the scab blood will just sit where we put it before.
And there you have the finished latex prosthetic applied. With all the fake blood, it really has a realistic look. A list of all the products that we use to apply this will be in the description below. And I'm Konga, and this is Zoe, and we're signing off. Thank you for watching.